Did you miss me? Did you miss me? I missed you. I missed filming. I've been in Greece for 2 weeks. I'm finally back. I did have some videos pre-filmed though that I did have up during the time. Maybe you missed some of them. I'm actually really proud of the videos that went up. But we are going to be talking about new makeup releases and the new makeup news that's been going on. And the industry has been going crazy. Don't you know I'm on vacation? This is a series where every week I come back and I talk about the new makeup that's been released, announced, and sneak peek. I'll let you know how I feel about these new releases, the new industry news, and then you let me know down in the comments how you feel about these. I started this video to be able to talk about makeup that I wasn't necessarily interested always in buying, and also to stay on top of things because maybe you don't have the time to be scouring the entire net or Instagram for new makeup news, but I will give them to you, let you know about all the new things that are going on. And usually I do these on Fridays, but you're not wrong. Today is not Friday, it is Saturday because I'm filming this on Friday because I came home from Greece very late on Thursday. So one day late, but next week it's gonna be on Friday per usual. But before we jump into the makeup news, let's listen to this week's sponsor. I am so excited to let you know that today's video is sponsored by June's Journey. I've talked about June's Journey quite a few times here on my channel because I love the game and I love playing mobile games. It is such a relaxing me time. I get to sit down comfortably, or I like to play mobile games as I don't want to say last step before I sleep. I just find it so relaxing and entertaining to play a little bit at bedtime. I also love cozying down at the couch or when traveling. It's amazing pastime when you're traveling. And June's Journey is a beautiful murder mystery, finding hidden clues and objects kind of a game. It is set in the 1920s and you're following the protagonist, who is June, of course, and she's a little bit of a sleuth and she is trying to figure out what happened to her sister and her sister's family. We're thrown into this story where June is trying to unravel what happened to her sister because the sister and her sister's husband was murdered. And it's this really wonderful storytelling mixed with finding hidden objects. And we get introduced to a lot of different characters all the time. Where I am in the game right now, I'm not going to give you any spoilers to where we are right now, but I have been traveling in game and I've just recently found what I think might be a little bit of a love interest, and I am excited to see where this story is going. All the scenery is so beautiful, looking for these clues. It's such a fun and interesting concept where you're finding these hidden clues while being transported to this really beautiful 1920s like just scenery. And I'm in chapter 5 right now, and I'm not gonna give anything away, but there is a lot of different things going on. There are so many different ones to choose from. I like mastering all the ones I'm playing as well because I like finding all the clues and being as quick as possible. And again, I'm just really entertained by these games where you're able to like go back and just perfect your score. But it's not only a puzzle game, you also get this beautiful like little garden where you get to build yourself. So there's this element of building your own garden around the mansion, her sister's mansion as well. And they just recently released some more shrubs over here, and I want to get this one, the blooming plants. Let me see, I think I'm gonna put it over here. I think that's gonna be good. And now it's there. Well, they're building it. Can you tell? It will be done in 6 hours. What I'm decorating. June's Journey is free to play and free to download. You can play it on Android or iOS, or it's available to play through desktop as well. I really enjoy June's Journey, and I know a lot of you are telling me in the comments that you found June's Journey through me as well. So if you also want to discover a really fun and cute and entertaining game, definitely check out June's Journey. Just click the link in the top of the description box or scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. Again, thank you so much June's Journey for sponsoring another video on my channel. Let's get into the rest of the video. I did also film this look, and this is going to be live in the beginning of next week. I filmed a full face of new drugstore makeup, and I think we can agree that it is looking kind of fierce. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe. It's coming in the beginning of next week. Let me scoochie to the side because we have so many things to talk about, okay? The industry has been going crazy. Let me scooch to the side so I can put some pictures on the side here of me where we talk about the new makeup, and I have so many things to talk about. Should I be getting some of the things that I do have? Never mind, I'll show you in upcoming videos. Let's start talking about some of the things that, like me personally, that I was really interested in, and we'll end talking about the industry news because there's been some really big industry news about RHODE getting bought, about Huda Beauty buying back her brand. It's finally here. And then there was another brand being sold. I know everybody was talking about the supposed 1 billion deal with RHODE Beauty, but there was another 1 billion deal that also went down, and I think we need to talk about that one too. Let's talk about what I have on my eyes today. And I actually have one of the new Morphe palettes. I did get this sent to me in PR, and I think these are available both at the Morphe website, and they're also available on the Ulta Beauty website. I have this one on that's called Electric Current. This is the one that I have on. I do have thoughts about this one. We'll talk about that on Monday. I do also have the 6-pan palettes here, and they seem to have a slightly different formula, so we definitely need to use those as well. I am planning to do very, very soon a full face of Morphe, and I will use the 6 pans there so we can see if there's a difference. But if you are interested in hearing my initial thoughts on this formulation, I would definitely say check out, I think it's going to be Monday's video or maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, but in the beginning of the next week we're going to be talking about this because it is what I have on my eyes, but I did have to go into some other things. I'm just saying. But I am very excited to see Morphe come out with more eyeshadow palettes, and I have been very excited about Morphe as a brand since they got bought out after the bankruptcy thing and are under new ownership. I think they're doing like such a good job. I also have, and this one is available now, this is the Halo Glow Skin Tint from e.l.f. I am wearing this one today too, and I do have a lot of thoughts about this one too, so again, check out that video to hear my thoughts about it. This one is available. I ended up getting mine on Amazon because I wanted to get the new tint as well, and that one was sold out on the website, so I ended up getting it on Amazon. I will link it down below. I have the shade medium neutral, and it is slightly too light for me with my tan. It probably will be beautiful once I have a little less tan, because clearly 2 weeks in the sun in Greece have really like accelerated my tan, but I was able to bronze myself up a bit and make it work. But I do have some thoughts about this one too, but I didn't want to let you know that this one is available too. We've also, and I talked about this briefly, that Nomad Cosmetics was relaunching 3 of their older palettes, and I have one of them here. They were relaunching the Berlin Underground, the Fête Provence, and the America's Parks, right? Yeah, so this is the America's Parks. This is my favorite color story from Nomad Cosmetics, and the only reason why it wasn't my favorite palette from Nomad Cosmetics is because I thought some of the formulations weren't their best. But I'm really excited to see that they're bringing them back, and they did say that they were updating the formula, so I'm very excited about that. This is the favorite that I have. I think it's a beautiful palette. I also think that the Berlin Underground is just a very interesting, like a twist take on a neutral palette, because it's not quite neutral, but like it's in the neighborhood. You can use my code Angelica with Nomad Cosmetics. Do you want me, because I am in the process, I want to film another like indie palette, several indie palettes, several looks. I do have, let's talk about that next. Again, these are available now. You can use a code to get a discount, but I also have the new palette from Glaminatrix with me. They did send me the other palette before as well. Let me see if I can put both of them in the same picture. But that one, something happened with the postage. Me and the owner were trying to figure it out, and somehow it got sent back, and we were like, what is going on? So she ended up sending me a package with both of the palettes and the new brush set that they're releasing. So I'm thinking maybe those two, because I love Glaminatrix and I want to like dive into those palettes so bad. And I feel like that new cool tone palette, it's called like Timeless, what is it called? That you can also use my code with Glaminatrix and get some money off. What is it called? Timeless something. Hold, this is me scrolling. It is Timeless Tones. That blue in the middle, I so badly want to do something with that, because this is more of a neutral cool toned palette that's leaning a little bit colorful on the like the tealy minty blues, and I am very, very intrigued. I want to give my take on this. And then of course the other palette that they released as well, that they released a while ago, that unfortunately got sent back. What was that one called? I was so sad that I wasn't. It was a re-release of the neutral palette, Nearly Neutral, so Nearly Natural, that's what it's called. So I was thinking maybe one look with each in a palette would be nice. I don't know if you want me to do another look maybe with America's Parks, because again, that is a palette that I actually like. I bought that after release, and I don't think I have like a dedicated video or anything on that. I don't know, you're gonna have to let me know, because I will say I did ask you a while ago because I did one of those like several indie palettes, several looks, and it got very low views. Those take me a really long time to film, take me several days to film, and it takes me a long time to edit and get everything in. So for that to be worth it for me, I'm not like, oh, I need a certain amount of views, but also like I don't want to put down a week's worth of work on something that you're like, meh, I could take it or leave it, because I want to create things that you really want. So I asked you, like, is there a reason? And most people said, and I know there's going to be people who say most people said they didn't watch the video because they weren't interested in those specific palettes. And I know people say they want to see videos that is not about the makeup, that is about the tutorials, but I hate to break it to you. Most of people actually don't want to see that. That's not what they click on. If they don't see makeup that they're interested in the thumbnail or in the title, they're just not going to click on the video. So I need to make sure that I'm actually making those videos on palettes that you are genuinely interested in, because for me, I create those videos so that I can still do like old school tutorials because I love filming those. But it does need to be with palettes that are new and that people are interested in as well. So please let me know. If you ever see something in a video, leave a comment. That's how I know. Like I feel the temperature in what I get in comments and which comments get a lot of likes, so that I know that I'm giving you the content that you're like genuinely interested in. So please don't forget to let me know if you are like, this is the one, this is the palette that I really want to see. There's also a new palette coming from Arttitude Cosmetics. It says something new is coming. You can see there's like a colorful like corner up here. I do know that this one is heading my way, and it seems to be dragon inspired. I mean, there is literally a dragon in here, and the colors look really beautiful. I'm excited to see what this is going to be. You can use my code Angeshka with Arttitude Cosmetics and get some money off their order. It's a UK-based indie brand, and I am very intrigued to see what this is. They make really beautiful things, and I think there's some new highlighters coming in this collection too. So this is also a palette that, like, if you're interested, I can include this one. I'm gonna start filming one of those videos next week, I was thinking. So let me know how you feel about those. This one is such an easy skip for me, and I don't want to be mean or rude, but like, this is boring. Boring. I see this and I'm like, there is no variation. There is no like, it's all just samey. It's just this dusty, like, you know, a sweater that used to be mauve and now you washed it so many times that it's just like a little gray beigey with a hint of mauve. That's what this is. And they have the audacity to call this Midsommer. As a person who lives in a country that celebrates Midsummer, it's not that. Not this. Midsummer. I should do a Midsummer's palette. Maybe this is what Cinch will do for a summer palette one day, because what Midsummer's where? In a cave? Where are we celebrating Midsummer's? In hell. Midsommer's in Hell. That's what they should have named this. e.l.f. is also releasing, and these are some new of their little, what are these called? Bite-sized eyeshadow shades. 3 new ones. They're all neutrals. I opted out. I didn't buy any of these when I made an order with some new e.l.f. products, because these aren't for me. But I am excited to see them release more of these bite-sized little eyeshadow things, because I know people really like them. And if you like the formula and you were hoping for some more colors, they're available again. They're still only $3, although e.l.f. did say that they were going to raise some prices. It is what it is. I think it's happening in August, the raising of prices. We've also been able to see Charlotte Tilbury is releasing some lip and cheek glow blush sticks. And I gotta say, the color range is kind of dope. This, for being Charlotte, everybody calm down. For being Charlotte Tilbury, this is kind of out there for being her. And I think it looks kind of beautiful, honestly. Do I need this? Not really. And I will say the swatches, let me see if I can put the swatches up instead. They look kind of glassy glowy, and it makes me a little bit worried that they're not gonna like, it says like rosy glow, peach glow, pretty glow. Okay, pinky glow, cherry glow, cherry, sorry. I keep saying that incorrectly, I know. English is not my first language, and Berry Glow, and they seem very glossy dewy. So I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those that feel sticky on the cheeks. I'm not going to personally pick these up. I have so many blush things that I am trying out right now. Last thing I need is to buy some high-end things as well, but I still thought it was pretty interesting to see. This one I have downstairs. I did unpack it. I looked at it briefly and it is so beautiful. And this is the round 2 of Sigma and Angela Bright. And these are the eye brushes. And I think these are like specific for the Angela Bright set, if I'm not mistaken. 6 different brushes. They look beautiful. I don't know the exact pricing of these, but I will put it down below in the description box, or at least I'll pull a link, and whatever is available, I will pull it up with the YouTube shopping as well, just to ease up if you want to go in and read up more about these things. If you're interested in something specific, the links and the codes that I have here down below, or the things that pop up, are affiliated. So if you do shop through my links, or if you use my code, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It does really help out. It gives a kickback to the channel. I'm so proud of Angela, and I know they had an eyeshadow palette, and I think the PR package, because I opened all the PR packages when I came here to be like, what do I want to film with today? And I think it also contained the old eyeshadow palette that they released before, which is a beautiful palette. So I'm so excited that they're doing round 2. Love Angela Bright, love Sigma Beauty. I'm sure these are going to be absolutely amazing. The handles look delicious. I do have a code with Sigma as well. I'm not 100% sure if it works on collab items. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but you can always use code Angelica at Sigma Beauty and you can get some money off when you are shopping there. They did have some couple of things that they released before, and some of my absolute favorite things that I use all the time, like the eyeshadow primer or their matte bronzer. Absolutely gorgeous. You can always use my code on those things, but so excited for you, Angela. I cannot wait to try out your brush set. I'm a little bit confused by this new Tarte palette because it is called Trippin with Tarte, and I think they're celebrating 10 years of Trippin with Tarte, and the shade names are like Key Largo, Maldives, Hawaii, New York, Bora Bora, you know. The list goes on and on. It's very typical Tarte in like the color story, and it just feels like all of these like exotic destinations, and it's still like just a palette of sawdust. I'm not surprised, but also like the packaging is so pretty. I don't know, are people buying this? Maybe they are. Just there are so many things you can do with neutrals to make them more interesting, and I don't think Tarte is like even trying, but maybe this is doing great for them. I mean, Tarte is a big brand. They're selling a lot of products. The owner keeps talking about how great the brand is doing all the time. So maybe I'm the one that's just not getting it, but I wouldn't pay $49 for these colors, because I feel like if you own, at this point, if you own one Tarte palette, you own them all. You know, you have all of them. One thing that I do think looks actually kind of interesting, and I wonder if I'm gonna be sent this in PR, I might end up picking up one of them otherwise, and these are the Icon Edit Mini Shadow Palettes by Makeup Revolution. These are quads, so these are 4 shades in a palette. I think all of them, or all of them but one, I think, has a cream shadow as well. And I did use the Icon palette, and I was kind of impressed by the quality. And if it's the same quality in this one, I think it could be really interesting, honestly. That olive one looks really pretty, and that like, it's like an orange, a pink, and then 2 shimmers. That looks really good too, so I'm like kind of into this. I'm like kind of intrigued by this. I'm not against it. I could be about that. So again, if they send me these in PR, I will definitely be trying them out. Otherwise, I might end up picking one up anyways. I kind of want to make an order from Ulta, and if I see these at Ulta, it's game over. Another drugstore thing that has released are by NYX, and these are the Fat Cheeks Dewy Liquid Blushes. And I don't know if I want to purchase these. Honestly, it's because they're like dewy. They're meant to be a dewy blush, and that sometimes means that they're gonna look like the Huda Beauty liquid blushes, which is that they look dewy but they dry down, or it means like they're gonna look like the Bare Minerals ones where they don't dry down and your hair sticks to it. And I don't know if since I'm not getting NYX in PR, I don't know if I want to be the one to find out which one of them is it. I also gotta say, if you scroll through the marketing pictures of these, they do apply them on the cheeks, and I gotta say, I don't like how they look on the cheeks. I mean, I applaud them for not photoshopping it to look good, but I just don't love how they look on the cheeks on the models, and I'm like, if the models can't make them work, I don't think I will either. I feel like a lot of people have been talking about these new eyeshadow palettes by Isamaya Beauty, or more specifically the re-release of Isamaya Beauty eyeshadows. I feel like Isamaya, like the makeup artist Isamaya, did used to work, I think, in product development or a creative director with Byredo, and I feel like you can really see that inspiration in these palettes. I don't know the reason as to why they're reworking how the eyeshadows look, maybe to streamline and make it work in Sephora. They did have some things when they relaunched Isamaya as a brand. They did have a couple of things that looked almost like doctor's supplies, you know, hospital-esque with like syringes and stuff. This looks very hospital, like you can't get up and go to the bathroom kind of a hospital. Like, I've been hospitalized, but I wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom, and I don't know if I need an eyeshadow palette to relive those memories. Yet here we are. This does not look like anything I want. These color stories are, for me, not inspiring. I don't like how the pan layout is, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that most of the palettes that Isamaya does is very like shimmer heavy, which is not my favorite either. But I'm sure this is for someone. If that someone just is not me. Adept Cosmetics did re-release their, I think it's called the Seahorse palette. This is the all shimmer palette that they had from before, and yeah, it is the revamped palette. It is $130, and it is because these special shades do cost a lot of money, and I know some people are wanting as many as possible in their palettes, which does make the price go up quite a bit. And since this Seahorse palette by Adept Cosmetics has only special shades, and Adept Cosmetics is not the most affordable indie brand out there, the palette ends up being $130. I know she tweaks some of the shades to make them even more different than each other than they were from before, and it also comes in the new packaging that Adept Cosmetics has, which is really, really nice packaging. And you can use a code and you can get some money off, and I'm pretty sure she said this is the last time that they are restocking this palette. So if you were interested in an all shimmer palette with like lighter and brighter shimmers, this is something that you like and love in your collection, maybe check it out. Me, I did actually opt out of this palette simply because I didn't buy the original one because I don't love an all shimmer palette. So like I said with the Isamaya one, it's not how I like to do my makeup, but if you are interested, it is available now. ABH has released their Magic Touch Cream Blush and Lip Trio. I will say, this kind of packaging and the way that this is laid out is giving me some kind of flashback feel that I haven't fully decided on if I have a positive feeling about this, or if I'm like, does it feel retro cute or does it feel dated? I haven't fully made up my mind. I do think it's smart though to come out with more than one color, like Natasha Denona did with her duos and ABH is doing with their trios, because it is not, let's say we put singles in here instead. It's not going to be a third of the cost. It's probably going to be about the same price, because it's not necessarily, that's not what's determining the cost. So it is a way to get some bang for your buck and get 3 different shades for $38, because if they were to release this as singles, it probably would have still been like $35, $36. So I think that that makes a lot of sense. It comes in 3 different colorways. I don't know if I'm gonna be picking this one up, because I really don't think I need to be reviewing any more like cream blushes like this right now, especially not since I have some that I really, really love and really love using. But maybe you're interested. These will release on the Sephora app on the 23rd, and then they will come to Sephora and Ulta, and I guess there are other retailers as well after that. I've also seen some upcoming things from Huda Beauty that I'm very excited about, and this is the Huda Beauty Lip Contour Lip Stain. So I did use one of the stains today. Not from Huda Beauty. This is Makeup Revolution Lip Shift Ink. This did not work as it was supposed to work at all. I like the idea of something like this, but I also feel like one of the things that I don't necessarily always want is a very visible, stark, darker lip liner. I know a lot of people really love that. I don't particularly love that, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this product, but I also feel since this looks more like a marker pen, I'm thinking that this might be easier to like fade in a little bit as well and just make it easier to work. And maybe you'll be able to do the reverse ombre as well, which is something that I do really enjoy. So I am intrigued to be trying this one out. It hasn't released yet, and I do get some PR from Huda Beauty. So if I do get this in PR, I will try several shades and see if I can do some kind of an ombre situation. And if I don't get this in PR, I would at least pick up one shade myself. They're also releasing lip oils. These are the Faux Filter Lip Jelly oils for $21 in 3 different shades. And I didn't love the Huda Beauty glosses because I thought the pigment separated and ended up in the ridges of my lips. I didn't particularly love that on myself. I thought it looked a little bit silly, but I am intrigued with this one because I think this is more like a lip oil. If it has that same like, because the texture is really nice of the glosses. It's like a little bit of a pillowy, thicker gloss that's like airy, pillowy without being like gooky, gumpy, sticky. That could be interesting. They seem to be very sheer color though. So again, this is one of those, if I get it in PR, I'll of course try it out. If I don't get it in PR, I think this is one of those that I want to try in store before I like commit to it, because I'm not 100% sure how I will feel about it. Another lip product that is launching, and this one is arriving to me in PR tomorrow, and these are the new HydraPop Glossy Lip Stains in 7 different colors. This is from Colourpop. You can use my code with Colourpop and get 10% off. These are glossy lip stains that go on as a gloss, and when they wear off, they leave a stain. And I do like the colors of these. I think they look really, really pretty. I think they come with like a pop socket that holds the gloss as well, which is kind of interesting, honestly. And I think that the shades, again, seem a little bit interesting. And it seems like the tint isn't going to be just a pink, which I do appreciate. So I'm very, very intrigued to try these out and see how they are. I do tend to like a glossy lip stain, so I'm excited to see how that one's gonna look. We've also seen, and this is also by Makeup Revolution, this is the Super Dewy Blush Burst by Makeup Revolution. This is a serum formula with peptides and hyaluronic acid, blah, 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 blah. Super dewy finish. I like the packaging. It almost looks a little bit like the Huda Beauty packaging, which is a packaging that I really, really enjoy. The colors look really interesting as well. But when it says super dewy, not dewy finish, but super dewy finish, that makes me a little bit like, huh, what exactly are we talking? Because again, that sounds dewy sticky. And I do tend to get PR from Makeup Revolution. And if I do get these in PR, I will 100% try them out. And I will let you know. Is this sticky, or does it just look super dewy? Because I can't do fly paper makeup, and I know a bunch of you feel the exact same way. We also saw Pat McGrath release the legendary Longwear lip liners. I feel like she had lip liners from before. I don't know if this is a shade extension or if this is a new release. I'm not 100% sure. I did like the lip liner that I had from Pat McGrath before. I thought it was a really, really good one. It was creamy, but not overly creamy. I thought it was a really good formula, so I'm intrigued, and I do like the colors. I do like quite a lot of the colors actually here, and this is one of those I would love to swatch them in store because they're so expensive that I don't want to end up buying color that I won't like use. But I will definitely keep my eye on this one next time I'm at Sephora. It's on the Pat McGrath website right now, but I haven't been inside a Sephora for a hot minute, so what do I know? We also have a new release from One Size, and this is the Until Dawn Mattifying Sunscreen Makeup Setting Spray SPF 28, which is not a lot, but it's a nice extra step when you're setting down your makeup, get a little bit more extra sunscreen, and it's also a great way to reapply sunscreen throughout the day if this actually does work as a makeup setting spray and doesn't like have that oily residue that sometimes some SPF has that just will break down your makeup. So I am very intrigued by this, and again, like I said, I did see a PR package that in the tracking it looked like One Size, and it is out for delivery today, so hopefully this will end up, it has a green tea extract that helps with oil control, which is great for me, let me tell you that. And I'm excited. I will let you know. I've seen this on the Sephora website, but I think it is officially launching on the 14th, which technically is the day that this video is going up. So I guess it's available. One thing that I actually did order myself, and this is God Mode Beauty. And we did talk about this before. This is a makeup brand by two celebrities. It's Chloe Moretz and Rina Sawayama, and she's a musician, and they created a makeup brand that is inspired by gaming. And I gotta tell you, the Instagram is so inspiring. It's such a great Instagram page, and we've also seen Chloe Moretz on her Instagram page showing makeup looks and stuff, which is absolutely, I'm so impressed with how this rollout has been. And they released 3 different products, a lip liner in 4 colors, a gloss in 3 colors, and then a cream highlighter that is the Genesis Glow Encoded. And this is a highlighter egg multi-use hydrating balm that adds an ethereal duochrome luster to the skin, and it seems to be a little bit of a peach to green. I bought a lip liner, a gloss, and a highlighter. I really want to try these out. I'm excited about this brand. I'm excited about the inspiration. I'm very excited about the inspirational pictures and rollout that's been going out. So I cannot wait to see what this is all about. And I will let you know how I think about it because, again, I did buy this. There's also been a summer collection from Lisa Eldridge, and this is a Desert Gleam eyeshadow palette, and then there is also some new Rouge Experiment refillable lipsticks in 3 new colors, 2 more nudie browns and a muted red color. The eyeshadow palette is quite honestly a really, really beautiful one. I feel like this is one of those that I probably would really enjoy. There is like 3 nudes and 3 greens, and I think that this is a really beautiful 6-pan neutral palette that's leaning green. I really like this is my favorite color story from her by far, but I just don't think I have the time to properly review this right now. So I think I'm gonna opt out simply because of that. I think the colors of the lipsticks are stunning. Like, they're so absolutely stunning. That orangey red is beautiful, but again, I just I need to, like, you know, just tone it in a little bit because the lipsticks are 59 and the eyeshadow is 62. It is just, I know it's a luxury experience. Everything is really beautiful, high quality, everything, but I'm just like, that's not something that I can just, you know, on a whim buy, even though I do think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I will say this is probably one of my favorite drops from the brand to date. Another thing that I thought looked really beautiful is this new launch from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the limited edition Cosmic 2.0 Summer Collection. This has a wet shimmer quad for a shimmery eye look. It has dewy balm sticks for illuminating your skin, and then it has new shades of their Supple Kiss lip glazes. These seem to be more like sparkly metallic shades. I honestly think this collection looks really beautiful. This isn't exactly how I do my makeup, and Kylie Cosmetics isn't one of those brands that I review on a regular, but I do think that this looks really, it looks like a cool little capsule collection where everything goes together and you can clearly see that there's a theme going on. And I honestly think, like, really good job. These kind of frosty tones are definitely coming back, and I think it looks pretty nice. Polite Society has released a highlighter. This is the Polite Society's Highlight Society Powder Gloss highlighter. I will say the outside packaging looks exactly like the packaging that they had for their bronzers, but the inside looks like that kind of like a baked dome, the same that Rare Beauty does. So on the inside it looks like the Rare Beauty highlighter, and on the outside it looks like the Polite Society product. They do tend to send me PR. I don't know if they're sending this to me or not. I didn't really love their bronzer because mine actually smelled really, really bad, but I'm intrigued to see how this one is. I don't know if I'm gonna pick one of these up myself if I don't get them in PR. Maybe if I see them in store at Ulta, because especially that like peachy pinky one seems like it could be a really nice like blush topper highlight hybrid. You know, I love those. Glossier is releasing something that I have said I think is gonna be a big trend not only this year but also next year. I already think 2026 it's going to be the year where a lot of brands release even more body care products, and Glossier is coming out with a full body care line. This one has so many different body care things. It has a body and hair fragrance mist, it has oil wash, exfoliating bar, dry touch oil mist, it has a lotion, and it has deodorant. And I think these kind of products that are scented with, especially with scents that are already known to the brands, I think you're gonna see so many brands come out with stuff like this in the next year, just rediscovering what kind of products can be scented in a more sophisticated way. Speaking of reimagining what a scent can be and how scented products can be, Sniff, who always like reimagines like what is a nice scent, what is a nice, like how do we want to smell, they are releasing a body mist that smells like old spray tan, like retro like sun oil kind of a scent. So this one has Monoi, which is the flower that if you have an old school like SPF product that smells like flowers, it's probably Monoi. It's a carrot, banana flower, tiger lily, Tahitian vanilla, and a coconut scent. And I just think that this is very interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised, again, we have seen scented SPFs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see scented like products to tan your skin as well, like tanning lotions or spray tans that are scented with different like already known and popular scents as well. Like I said, I definitely think especially 2026 is going to be the year of like what can be scented and what can be elevated with a scent, and what are we willing to pay for a body care product that's just a little bit more elevated. I think we're gonna see more of that. A brand that I really love that makes sense are releasing a new fragrance, and this is from Boy Smells. And this one is called Citrus. That's how it has to be, right? Citrus. And this is pomelo, which is more of a bitter orange fruit, like a citrus fruit. I love it. Ripe musk's black pepper. It has frozen mint in there as well. And this is one of those where, since it has the ripe musk and ambrox in there, I'm not 100% sure that I will like this, because sometimes I feel like those smell a little bit like BO. It's not my absolute favorite, and it's like you left an old gym bag in the closet and you found it some months later. That's how I feel like some of these scents smell. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but the mint and pomelo does make it sound very interesting, especially since they say it is a citrus high. So I am intrigued by this, and I do love Boy Smells. I think they make amazing scents, and their new bottles are just exquisite. I'm such a big fan. I think they look incredible. Okay, let's talk about some industry news, because I do have a couple of things that I want to talk about. And first of all, I want to talk about the fact that Huda Beauty, Huda Kattan, bought back her brand. She did talk about this a while ago, basically saying that she wanted to buy back Huda Beauty. She wanted to be in control again. She had been taking some advice from investors and financiers, and even though she does appreciate that they probably did know best at scaling the brand, she felt like she lost control and that she wasn't able to take the brand in the direction that she wanted to take the brand. So she has now bought back the stakes, and Huda Beauty is now back to being owned by like a family-owned brand again, which probably, like Huda herself says, probably makes Huda Beauty one of the biggest, if not the biggest, indie brand in the market. Because indie brand does not mean that it is a small brand. It does not mean that the products are handmade. I know sometimes I see this. It's a misconception. Indie brand only means that it's independently owned. It does not have an umbrella brand. It does not have big financiers that are telling them what to do or giving them pointers on how to make more money. It is just that it is owned by a sole owner, and in this case by Huda Kattan again. She did sell her stakes in Kayali, and they split those brands up, and she probably bought back Huda Beauty with the shares that she had, the money that she made with selling her stake in Kayali. And I'm so excited to see, because I love Huda Beauty, and I think 9 times out of 10 the things that they release are absolutely amazing. So I cannot wait to see what comes in the future, and I cannot wait to see what their holiday release is going to be now that they've said that they're not doing big palettes anymore. And I cannot wait to see what that is going to be either. We've also seen Sephora has says that they're introducing quiet hours. So I think it's like once a week, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in select US and UK stores on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They are going to do what they call quiet hours. They're basically going to dim the light, lower the music, and just have a different cozy feel, and also have less hectic or less bright messages on their different like TV screens and stuff. And you're also going to be able to opt out, like you're going to be able to hang a little sticker or a note or something on your shopping bag that says that you don't want to be approached by personnel, which I think is great, because sometimes you just want to go around by yourself. And I will say one thing that is absolutely, and I understand this is their job, they need to do this, but when you go into a US Sephora, there is, first of all, 20 employees in there at any point of the day, and everybody will at some point ask you if you need help. All of them, every single one of them will ask if you need help. And it's just like, it is crazy sometimes, because it's like, listen, I am so happy that you're here, but I will ask you if I need help. Can I just look by myself? So me, for one, I don't know if they're going to do this in any of the Austin stores, but honestly, it would be nice to just be able to go in and look for myself without having to fend off every 3 minutes. No, thank you, I'm just looking. No, thank you, I'm just looking. Yes, I will ask if I need something. Yes, I will ask if I need help looking for something, because I just want to look. I just want to look, honestly. And this is a 12-week pilot program that just aims to, I think also for them, realizing like who their customers are and what they appreciate. But it's also meant to make more accessible shopping for customers, particularly those who benefit from a calmer environment. There are customers that definitely do not thrive and do not even want to go into those kind of places when it's just too loud, too bright, too much, and they keep getting asked all the time, and they'll just opt out from coming altogether. So I honestly think it's a really good initiative, and I'm excited to see how this will pan out. It's also in a really weird time of the day where it's like between 10 and 12 p.m. on a Tuesday and Thursday. I mean, a lot of people will just not be able to go to Sephora at those times, but I guess it's a good time to just evaluate what that can mean. And if they get a positive feedback, maybe they can do it one weekday night at a week instead. I mean, what do I know? And then, of course, we have to talk about the fact that this happened just after I announced after I talked about my new makeup releases before I went on vacation. But it seems like e.l.f. Beauty has acquired RHODE Beauty, and all the headlines says for $1 billion. When I looked into this a little bit more, it is not actually that they paid $1 billion for RHODE Beauty. They paid, I know I've just read some of the, when I was like literally sitting on a beach in Greece looking at this, but I did actually watch the video that Kelly Gooch had on this, which is a really, really good video where she was going through exactly the more nitty gritty. I just read like some of it, but it's more that they're getting, I don't remember exactly, but it's not $1 billion for the acquisition, and then they can get bonus money depending on how RHODE Beauty behaves or how profitable they hopefully are under new management. They're able to get money up to $1 billion. So it's not necessarily $1 billion. And of course, Hailey Bieber does not get $1 billion. She has a bunch of investors. This was never like a mom and pop operation. Listen, it's not her and Justin packing orders in their living room, okay? They always had investors. So she's getting like her cut of it basically. And I think she's staying on. I think she's staying on as well. I don't know if it's as creative director or if it's just with marketing. Who knows at this point, but I'm sure she's really happy to have this big of a buyout so early in, because I feel like, I know people are like, oh, it's a cash grab, but I do think that most, celebrity owned makeup brands probably start with the hope of being acquired. I'm assuming this is not me saying that that is what it is, but I mean, people are starting businesses to make money. That's what I'm going to say. It doesn't mean that they don't love what they do or that they don't stand behind the product that they do. That's what I'm going to say about this. I do think that it was very bad optics with e.l.f. Cosmetics announcing that they are going to have to raise their prices due to, I mean, inflation has been absolutely bonkers the past couple of years, and also now with tariffs and everything that's going on. And some of the tariffs disappeared, but we still have tariffs, so everything is getting more expensive. So they said they're going to raise the prices, I think in August, with $1 on most of their products. And then of course, like a week later, it broke that they are acquiring RHODE Beauty for, but people were assuming was $1 billion. I know the optic is not great, but that's also one thing that I thought about instantly when I heard this. And people were like, oh, this is how they're justifying like the price, raising the prices is to buy this. Of course, raising the prices in August will do nothing for a deal that's already gone through. That's not how that works. And also a big company like e.l.f., you have to remember that the umbrella brand, e.l.f. Beauty, they're the ones who acquired RHODE. They've already acquired other brands as well. They bought Naturium for example. And one of the brands that e.l.f. Beauty has is e.l.f. Cosmetics. So e.l.f. Cosmetics raising their prices in August is not doing much for the deal that went through now. That's not really how any of that works. But I do agree, the optics is not amazing. Like, it's not looking amazing saying you're raising the prices and then all of a sudden you bought another big brand. That's not great, but also like there's just not one big pool of money that they're pulling from and then they're raising the prices to fill it. That's not really how that works. But yeah, I do agree. The optics weren't absolutely amazing. Some people were also saying, and I thought that was really fascinating, I know Kelly Gooch mentioned that in her video as well, this is the biggest deal. Definitely not. There has definitely been deals that have been better, like bigger than $1 billion. Remember when Cody supposedly bought Cali Cosmetics for $1 billion, and that didn't work out to be the best for any of them, to be honest. So there's definitely been deals like that before. And speaking of $1 billion deals, L'Oreal did acquire MEDIK8, which is a British skincare brand that was announced on Monday. The brand will be managed under the beauty giant's Luxe division, sitting alongside premium lines like Aesop and Kiehl's. The term of the transaction was not disclosed, though sales reached around 80 million last year. And another article that I read actually says that the brand was bought out with a 1.1 billion acquisition. I don't know if that is true or not, but Medicube has Medicube and RHODE is just definitely two different kinds of brands. And with Medicube, they also have a couple of patents that, of course, will be acquired by L'Oreal as well when they're acquiring the brand. They especially have a patent of a stabilized form of vitamin A that is used in skincare. And MEDIK8 is just a very science-forward skincare brand, but it doesn't have the same buzz, of course, as a celebrity-owned brand such as RHODE Beauty. But I thought it was really interesting as well, and it only shows as well that those two deals happened only 2 weeks from each other with approximately a similar price tag. But the RHODE Beauty got so much more attention because it was a brand that's a little bit more buzzed in like social media, because it is like Hailey Bieber and all the things that comes with that. So I just thought that was really interesting, because we get so worked up about like $1 billion deal, which wasn't $1 billion deal, but we tend to forget that this is not that unusual in the business world, these kind of numbers. It's just that now it is a brand that we feel like we know things about because we're following the owner. My face is turning more and more glowy by the second. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you like these videos, please leave a comment, please leave a like. It really does help out. And don't forget that I'm gonna have this look right here with quite a few thoughts coming in the beginning of next week. I hope you're having an amazing weekend. And thank you again so much, June's Journey, for sponsoring this video. Love June's journey. Been spending my vacation playing a lot of games on my phone. It's so relaxing. I absolutely love it. And I will see you Monday for a new video. Bye.